Let's do that. Today's QOD. What's your QOD? What's top of mind for you today? What's the burning question that's on your mind this lovely day, Wednesday, the 3rd of September, in the year 2025? We'll have the sound of the air conditioner killed here shortly. Do not worry. Do not fret. We will have it turned off here shortly. I'm getting TikTok chats booted up here. How you do? How you do? What's up, Juju Too Sweet? Steph, hello there. What's up, Mercy? Anne? It's excruciating waiting the last few minutes before watching. Yeah, what's your QOD? What's top of mind for you today? What's the burning question that's taking up your mental space right now? What is it? Christian Museum Girl, thank you so much for the share and the heart me there. Greatly appreciate that. What's up, Hobbit? What's up, Az Plunda? Hello, hello, hello. Snazzy Cat. Mercy. Wake me up when September ends. You know what? That's fair. Tony Spark would agree with you. Definitely would. Definitely would. What's up, Juju? Good to see you. McKay, hello there. Good to see everybody. Cool Pug, what's up? Sondian, hello. Yeah, I'm trying the in-ears today. I'm just freaking people out by not wearing headphones today. We'll see what's going on. Thank you, Juliet. I got myself a haircut yesterday. If anybody is ever in the Joplin area and needs a good cut up, Duncan at High Tone Barbershop is the man. He's been my dude for a long time. He's also a good buddy. Solid dude. Solid barber. The QOD, what is QOD? What is your QOD? What is top of mind for you right now? What's the question that has been, just obsessing you, or that question that's been in the back of your mind, the problem that you're working, you know what I mean? Because there's always a collection of those going on. I always have like 20 of those. I'm working all those problems in the back of my mind all the time. McKay, QD, favorite candy bar? Favorite candy bar? For me, I think that is actually currently a Fifth Avenue. Man, Fifth Avenue is just real good. Real good. Kirsten says, QOD, why do people wait until the last minute to turn in their tax documents? It's just procrastination. Also, procrastination when you're pretty sure that you're gonna, have to pay someone else something, that's ultimate procrastination. If you think you're getting money back, you do it early because you want your money early, right? But if you're paying in, wait. Shauna, hello. Usually listen on YouTube. Didn't get the notification? Well, hey. You're over here at the very beginning on the TikTok side now. You might as well hang out there, huh? What's up, Totally Radical? Terabytes, hello. And you went in with the in-ears because you wanted to show off your haircut. Not the case. You know what? I randomly saw them in my drawer, and I'm like, you know what? What the hell? I actually wore them last night, too, because we filmed a new episode of The Imperfect Storms. So I'm kind of just in the in-ear vibe going on there. What's up, Sienny Hands? Sienny? Hey, Dusty and gang from England. Anna Hartman dropping the hundo bolts. Thank you so much for that. Cindy Lou, Christian Museum Girl with the Go Popular. Cindy Lou with the bolts there too. As Plunder with the share. Jane, drop on the hundo. Thanks so much. Jenny with your ice cream cone. Dropping the 5 with the hello all. Candy Thunder. Could you be any louder? I got to tell you, this will be posted soon on Candy Thunder's profile. But just a little while ago, there was a lot of ruckus going on in here. There was a scream, like a blood-curdling scream that came from our kitchen, and it was Candy Thunder because she had opened up the freezer and found something she never expected to see still alive inside the freezer. You'll have to wait and see her post to get the full explanation, but by golly. Kirsten, all the more reasons to file early, avoid those tax penalties. Agreed. Unfortunately, I think there's this procrastination paralyzation, maybe is the way to put it. You know what I mean? What's a Fifth Avenue, Jasmine? Fifth Avenue candy bar. Let me get the official explanation for it here. Fifth Avenue. Why is my caps lock on? I've been yelling at people. Candy bar. A Fifth Avenue candy bar, introduced in 1936, consists of peanut butter crunch layers enrobed in chocolate. Don't think I've ever read the word enrobed before. We've recently said disrobed while talking about a naked Voldemort for some reason. I don't know how we got there, but it happened. It happened. And look at Dusty casually dropping the Imperfect Storms news. We had a great time filming last night. Ladies and gentlemen, say hello to the incomparable, always beautiful Tater Thunder. There she is. Why can't I hear you? Oh. Let's try that again.
Oh, hello.
I'm like,
there's a mint in my mouth.
There's a mint in your mouth. Tater Thunder is here, ladies and gentlemen. We did film last night. We had a hell of a good time. It was probably the most nonsensical topic list we have ever had in the history of anything we've ever filmed. And that's a little bit surprising because Caden Thunder was not involved.
Dusty brought some Caden Thunder questions to the...
I did.
To the pod.
I channeled my son.
Yeah, you did.
It was a good time. It was a good time. Yeah.
It was very funny indeed. Lots of laughing.
What's up, Smootsy Poo? A family full of good hair, Juliet. You know what? Our kids all have great hair. They do. Yeah. I can't stop.
Success.
I have very thick hair though, and I remember when I was a kid, like a teenager, you go through the awkward teens phase, and for me that was like trying to figure out what the hell to do with my hair. And back in that time it was the high and tight, but kind of like the Caesar cut days too. Where like all the dudes had like short, but it was like down. It was like pressed down right there. It was like late edges for a dude. It was weird. But my hair is so thick that it would just gradually like all stand right back up.
When I met you, you had like spiky hair.
Spiky hair, yeah. Because I finally gave in, and I'm like, well, this is the thing my hair can do because it's so thick, it can be spiky. But I would like twist my spikes together, so I had like 30 like metal spikes going on there.
It was very, it did it for me, I guess.
Okay. But here's a thought, because we've been talking about, the potential of Dusty Thunder. I'm talking about myself in the third person. Don't judge me. Getting a full sleeve tattoo. And Candy Thunder is like, I'm having trouble envisioning you with a full sleeve tattoo. But spiky hair Dusty, you probably could envision with a full sleeve tattoo, right?
No, I don't think it wasn't like the thick spikes. It didn't give me that vibe. The vibe that I think you're implying, but it didn't give me that vibe. It just gave me like spiky hair vibes. I don't know. You were just cute. Was that a crush?
Past tense?
Take a fucking compliment.
I'm hurt.
Dusty.
I'm hurt. Also,
now you're
when
handsome.
we were having this conversation about tattoos, Candy Thunder told me I should get an ass tattoo. And I'm pretty sure what you said was that I should get a tattoo of an ass on my ass. And whenever I told Caden Thunder earlier that you told me I should get an ass tattoo, this kid without zero prompt says you should get a tattoo of an ass on your ass. And I'm like, that's the same thing that Candy Thunder said, which is asinine. And he's like, that's crazy that we both said that. I'm like, I know.
We're both weird in the best way.
How is he not your bio child? Those apparently hurt a lot, ass tattoos?
Well, he doesn't have anything there, so I think he'd probably be fine.
No ass is what you're saying.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
No. Maybe it would hurt more.
I don't know. I'm not willing to find out. I don't think I'm interested in an ass tattoo. Does anybody here have ass tattoos? And can you tell us how bad did that hurt?
Get an Ascon on your ass.
Ooh.
I love it, Kristen.
There you go. I'll get the whole Ascon scale. And the astronaut will just be hidden in the crack. Like you have to spread them to reveal him. I should stop. Hey, Totally Radical, dropping the 5 says, bring back the spiky here. Maybe someday.
No.
That was my rock and roll phase. Magic Drop, I've tattooed a lot, but not the ass. Oh, here we go. Terry says, it hurt. It was not comfortable. Friendly Neighborhood Tim, I do not play fantasy football. I did for a hot minute. But it's just time. Time is just tough. You know what I mean? I have to be very careful about what I allocate my time to. So right now it's obsessing over tattoos instead of playing fantasy football. I couldn't sit for a week. I don't know.
Oh, damn.
The black hole would be in the crack.
That's okay. You're right. At least I was waiting for the black hole comment and it never came.
Sorry.
I was mildly disappointed.
I'm slipping. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You watched a lot of Ink Master, Callie? Yeah, it might happen someday, but we got an estimate on it, and it's going to be a long, long, long time. Boo Boo, thanks so much for the bolts. Just Jess dropping the bolts there too. Thank you guys so much for being here today. I still have the Fifth Avenue Candy Bar webpage pulled up here. We'll go ahead and get our show started here. Yeah, the general QOD is just, what's your QOD? What's going on? Yeah, I used it last night. computer issues here. I used it last night and it had a full battery when I turned it off. It just needs turned on all the way.
When was it? If it wasn't on the charger, it wouldn't work.
Okay.
So I guess that will not be.
Okay, well, we'll do what we can there. Hey, Friendly Neighborhood 10 dropping bolts there too. Jess Bates, Mama Says So, Minions Den, Charlie Diego. Thank you so much for being here and for supporting the stream. QOD General Conversation is, what's your QOD? What's top of mind for you right now? I know right now, like one of my top of mind things is the new book. It is like always top of mind for me. I'm thinking of new ideas. Candy Thunder and I are discussing it really regularly. I'm discussing it with Tater Thunder regularly too. Like, we're progressing the storyline. It's moving. And it's very, very exciting. I can't wait to talk more about it, which I can't do until I actually write more or write. So someday we'll talk about it soon. Coming up, we have stories about AI wedding vows, unwelcome house guests, kids and their freedoms, ungrateful stepsons, arguments at birthday parties, exes, and grief. We also have spicy stories and cake stories, a full smattering, and a last minute story update that has been added on, called an audible here. First goal on the TikTok side is 4.5k bolts for a spicy story, and on the YouTube side we have a super goal of 15 $5 supers and up to start for a cake story and confetti. We're already through 2 of those right now. Bolts are already rocking here too. We did film a brand new episode of The Imperfect Storms last night. It was nonsense. It's going to be hilarious. I don't know how much of it is actually going to be like making the final cut. There was a lot of, I crossed some lines, apparently.
Shocking.
I crossed some lines. You know, I'm an oversharer. I'm a generally oversharer. So if there are like, if things I say are getting edited out, I've crossed like not just the first line, but another line later on there too. So that will be coming out soon. We'll keep you posted on that. Share goal for TikTok side is 1,500 shares. We aren't tracking that with the progress bar, but we are keeping an eye on it. So thank you so much for sharing and liking the stream. We do greatly rely on that to help us get in front of new people. Reminder today, keep chat positive and respectful. Everybody, and I mean everybody, is of course allowed to have their own opinion, and we don't all have to agree, but it costs absolutely nothing to be respectful and be a DFHB. As a reminder, our opinions are based on our worldview, shaped by the lives that we have lived as individuals. We don't expect you to agree with us. We haven't lived the same life. That would be silly for us to expect you to agree with everything we say. We do, however, expect to be respectful of each other's opinions, right? So as long as we're not throwing our opinions out like a dickhead to you, we appreciate you not doing the same to us. No spoilers today, please. No promises. Spoilers, of course, will be muted, if not booted from the live. Mods will be ready to whack the spammers and the spoilers. So with that, get at your gosh-heckin' brooms. Hey, yo. No flames. I deleted that scene. The scene that crashed the stream on Sunday. It is no mas. It is. And I ran like an integrity check on OBS before starting this stream to make sure that everything was the way it should be. So, Willow Wiccan. Is it too soon to be making pumpkin muffins? Hell no.
Hell no.
As of September 1st, you can make pumpkin anything you want, right? Tony Sparks over there shaking his head. He disagrees. Michelle Tessie Davis, thanks for the floating hearts on the YouTube side. Greatly appreciate that. Mercy, you have 3 tats also. You want so many, but you're lazy and don't have a good artist. So I think I've found like the talent is here. Now it's just a matter of like time and money. We were joking around about like selling a sponsorship for a tattoo. Like, I'll have a brand logo in there or name or something. We'll sell sponsorship space here. I'm kidding. That would be a terrible thing to do. Although I'm not entirely opposed to it. All right.
I'm opposed.
Candy Thunder is opposed. She's like, yeah, you can't have a full sleeve that has like the Dude Wipes brand on it for the rest of your life. I'm sorry, it's just not happening.
Unless it was incredibly
and I'm like,
realistic.
why not? All right, let's dive into our first story here, ladies and gentlemen. This one comes from Relationship Advice and goes like this. I-35 male was caught using AI to write wedding vows, and partner 34 female walked out. What to do? It's not an AITA, so we won't run a poll for it. We'll just dive right in, but I will read that title one more time. I-35 male was caught using AI to write wedding vows, and partner 34 female walked out. What to do? Okay, before we dive into this, I think there's a definite distinction between bouncing ideas off of AI to expand upon what you have started with to make it better, or just letting AI write wedding vows for you, right? If you're just letting AI write it for you, yeah, that's obviously a problem. If you're using it to enhance what you already have or your ideas, I think that's part of the creative writing process now. Like, we do that for script writing all the time. Like, we start with our basic bullet points, our ideas, and our concepts, and we're like, here's the finished product we're looking for. What do you got? And then it spits it out, and we change it all up, and it helps save 75% of the process. It's wild. All right, let's dive in. I, 35 male, recently had a wedding with my partner, 34 female. We've had a stable and happy relationship so far, and I love her more than anything in the world. The problem arose when it came to writing vows. Don't get me wrong, I love many things about my partner, but I couldn't figure out how to put them into tangible vows. I decided to use ChatGPT so I can have something well written and expressive to share at the ceremony. The thing about my partner is that she's very confrontational and no nonsense. If something annoys her, she immediately addresses it with no room for backing out. I also know that she's expressed disdain for AI in the past, but I did not realize how far the hatred could go. I don't know how, but she immediately recognized that the vows were AI. After I had finished, she had this angry look and whispered to me, "Did you use fucking AI to write that?" Oh, like during the wedding? Wow. I was quiet because I couldn't believe she had noticed that, and she was choosing to address it while we were on full display for everyone. She then said that I either speak from the heart or she walks out. I literally couldn't get any words out, and she kept her promise and walked back down the aisle, much to all of our friends and family's confusion.
What?
She's been ghosting me these past few days, which is atypical for her and honestly giving me panic attacks. Dude, she just walked out of your wedding. Nothing is typical at this point. Most people agree that calling off a marriage because of AI vows was an overreaction and that maybe it was a sign that our relationship would have issues, but a few female friends have said that they would have done the same. I'm hurt and honestly just needed it to help make the day more special. Is it worth fixing? Edit. Wait, okay, before I read the edit, we got to talk about this for a second. Because he comes back and addresses like responses here. Let's talk about this for a second. Okay.
What?
Yeah, this all went down during the wedding. Okay, first of all, is there a problem with using AI to help write your vows?
I would have zero issues. I don't. As long as I know that you love me and you've expressed that to me one-on-one, I loved getting married to you, like loved it all, but I was excited about our lives together.
Right.
Like,
it's not about the vows.
I loved getting dressed up. I loved taking pictures with you, like all of that stuff. But yeah, I loved that part of it. And obviously, like, I would have no issue with someone using AI to help them level up their vows at all. Like, she, in my opinion, was a huge asshole here. And like he said, she has, like, if she is annoyed by something, she calls it out on the spot. That's fine, but like a time and a place in the wedding wasn't it. But yeah. I think she told him everything he needed to know in that moment.
Probably.
I wouldn't want to live life like that.
I would agree. And okay, so there are multiple problems here. Like, she obviously had a problem with that. And yes, I see so much in chat that's like, I want to hear what he said, because she noticed it from the rip, right? Like, she noticed immediately that it was AI, and maybe none of it was his words at all. And if he was just like, hey, ChatGPT, write my vows. And like,
right.
And there it was. Yes, that's problematic. I think the bigger issue for me here is that couples communicating, arguing, fighting, like having the personality of when there's a problem, immediately jumping into confrontation and not backing down and forcing it to be handled right then and there is disrespectful to your partner, because there's nothing wrong with taking a break to collect your thoughts. There's nothing wrong with taking some space to think things out. And I think if that's the personality you're facing, that's something you have to look at. Like, this is how we're going to communicate for the rest of my life. I'm going to have no time to process. I'm going to have no time to think. It's going to be an immediate
No, it's going to put
battle,
you in a panic mode.
Which is when venom comes in, right? That's when people say things they don't mean.
Yeah, but it's also going to make your emotional regulation dependent on somebody else's emotions.
Which is dangerous.
Yes, 100%. And I think...
Which is people pleasing. That's how people
yes,
pleasers
you're
get
going to try to
trained.
read read the room. You're going to try to read your partner, and your emotions are going to be dependent on their emotions when people treat you like this.
Right.
Should he have used AI to write his vows if he used it for the whole thing and didn't prompt it, didn't have any of his own stuff? Probably not. I don't think it warrants this kind of response, but I think this tells me everything that I need to know about this couple, and I don't think they should be together.
I would agree. Right now, it's an ESH for me, but also putting myself in her shoes and thinking about handling confrontation, notwithstanding how she handles every other confrontation in the world. In this moment, if there was a big enough red flag where she wasn't sure that she wanted to commit for the rest of her life, like, is there a better time and place?
No.
Not really, because this is, if you're going to walk,
you haven't done it yet.
this is your last chance.
If you want to walk, but
Yeah. Wow. I'm at ESH
that's
right
strange.
now.
It's a strange opener.
Let's see how it goes down. Here's his edit. Okay, I screwed up. I did not check the post for a while because I wanted more points of view instead of just getting torn to shreds, but I understand why the situation is worse than I thought it was. I've been trying to contact my partner's family to see if I can talk to her again, but apparently she's been staying out of state with her sister. I'm going to tell her when she gets back what I heard here and that I understand. I'm also going to write new vows without AI and bring her favorite flowers and snacks. I still want her to know that I love her and know her. I will post an update when I can. Thank you all, even if some feedback could have been a tad more nicely put. Okay, so commenters tore OP to shreds, and apparently weren't on the ESH platform that at least I'm at here. I don't know. I still very much feel like this is an ESH. I don't know that.
I think they both suck.
I don't know that OP like groveling back right now is going to solve their problems.
No, I think they need to learn to communicate better. Why did he feel the need? Why did he think his words weren't good enough? My question. Why did he feel like he had to go to AI to do this thing?
It's a good question.
And then, I don't know. There just seems to be like some kind of like, he can't communicate how he actually feels, and she expects.
And she communicates raw emotion.
Yeah.
With no processing in there at all.
If they don't get their individual shit worked out, it could lead to a toxic relationship. Yeah. So
good gravy. So
if they're willing to work, they both need to be willing to put in the work.
Right now, OP is convinced that it's all his fault. He's going to go grovel, rewrite new vows, and even though she ran out on the wedding, try to win her back. Wish you all the best, man. There's a lot of problems here, and I think we discovered a while back. We said for a long time like year one of marriage is really hard, and then we modified that to year one of living together is really hard because that's when you're forced to communicate through conflict and through awkward situations. So I would highly recommend living together for a year before taking another run at this because that will force you to learn to communicate with each other.
I would agree.
That.
Right.
Hey, God's blessed Wonder Woman, thanks so much for dropping the 5. Said this was the excuse she wanted to leave and it not be the bad guy. That could be it. You know what I mean? And this was her last chance, so she had to do that. I think I'm still right here at ESH. This isn't everyone sucks here for me. For her, it is more general approach and not giving someone the opportunity to think and respond. And to your point, Candy Thunder, there was a reason he thought his words weren't good enough. So that it's a toxic situation. And I hope when he goes back and grovels that I hope that she does not accept that because these two people they don't seem like they should be together. Oof. Just oof. Little bit of a music interlude here when we while we jump over to the next story. Sam Gilmore dropping a lot of bolts here. The 387 right in front of me. Thank you so much for that. Anastasia dropping the 5. Beautiful name, by the way. Thank you so much. I talked about the girl's name Aurora for a long time, and like Aurora was one of the names that I threw out there for Navy Thunder. I gave that name to one of the characters in the new book, Aurora. But he knew how she felt about AI, Fairy Flight says. That's fair. He knew that she had like a Will Smith, I am robots, hatred, like disdain for robots, and AI. So, yeah.
That she disliked it, but he didn't realize it.
Oh, you're right. He said, yeah, she dislikes it. He had no idea how deep the hatred went, so he didn't find that out till the wedding day, apparently. Sam Gilmore dropping another 147 there. Allie Bean, thanks so much for the bolt. Love, greatly appreciate that. How are we doing on our goal? Hold up.
Working or no?
We say it again. I'm sorry, I just now enabled
Is
you.
this working now?
Yes.
We're at 3180 of 4500 on the bolt goal, which has been updated to not just a spicy story. It is a update to the story. Am I the asshole for, or am I the asking for not planning anything for Father's Day after my husband ruined my first Mother's Day? So there's an update to that story.
It's the Father's Day story, y'all.
That will be the first reward
on the TikTok side.
On the TikTok side.
Heyo, okay. There we go. Zaina says, I'm an AI hater, losing human creativity. That's fair, but I think it doesn't have to be that way. It's not necessarily losing human creativity because, you know, the way that we use it is we take a project as far as we normally would, and then we'll pull in AI to see if we can make it even better. So for me, at least, it's actually unlocking new levels of creativity because it's opening new possibilities that I would not have thought of before. So while I understand your angle there, I think there's another angle to consider where it can actually help. Now, the majority of people probably use it in a lazy way. And yeah, I can see that. But I think there's another use case there that will actually do the opposite. Okay, so we do have that to unlock. Hopefully we'll get that knocked out, hit that bolt goal while we're jumping into the next story here. So I'm going to go ahead and dive into that so I don't squirrel too much here. I'm going to try to stay focused. Put the blinders on and stay focused. Chelsea Lynn, thanks so much for the hundo bolt. Sam Gilmore dropping another hundo. Bleeding Edge Doll with the 3 bolts there too. Robin sending bolts there too. Thanks so much, Jessica in Utah. Hello. Hi there. Hi there. Yeah, I see a lot of feedback about how people will use AI or dislike AI. So I think it's still new enough to where there are a lot of mixed opinions about it. Batman has Will Smith taught us nothing. That's what I'm saying. I am robot, right?
Right.
Yeah.
People hated the internet when it came.
It's true. People hated the internet. People hated rock and roll.
People hated streaming music.
Yeah, and we can get into the whole, you know, we'll dive into that discussion at a different time. I'll dive into this story instead. Elise dropping bolts on the TikTok side. She's like, hell, I'm jumping over there and I'm going to make this thing happen. Okay, our next story comes from AITA and it goes like this. Am I the astronaut for not wanting my widowed mom to follow me to my new city? Would you like to start a poll for us, love? It's our first poll of the day. Am I the astronaut for not wanting my widowed mom to follow me to my new city? Look, I understand, like, wanting to start a life as an adult and do that separate from your mother. The other side of that is your mother is widowed now, and you might be her only support person or her only person. So that is complicated. It is definitely complicated. I'm going to go 4 right now because they could have done that better. I really feel like it's probably an NTA or could have done that differently. But it's wanting. It's not even taking action on it yet. Screw it. I'm going NTA. No, these are my in-ear monitors. I did think they would they'd look a little bit like hearing aids.
Can you crispy hear?
Can I crispy hear?
Like, is it crisp?
Yeah, it's crisp. I hear perfectly clear. Nope. No. No, I normally wear these over the ears, but when I do podcasts from home, I wear in-ear monitors, and I brought the second pair up here because Tater Thunder refuses to wear over-the-ear headphones. So I got these for her, thinking at least she'd be able to hear herself that way. But even these, she's like, no. So they've been in my drawer, and I saw them today, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to give them a shot. Let's see how it goes. JC, thanks so much for the shirt love. Appreciate that. We did hit our goal there too. So we'll read results of this poll.
NTA by 58% and Ascon 4 with 15%.
Okay, so NTA takes the cake. Ascon 4 is trailing behind there. Let me get a gifter's list. We'll give some thanks for that. We'll still go ahead and read this story, and then we'll read that update to the Father's Day story right after this one. On the TikTok side for hitting the gosh heckin' lightning bolt goal, Sam Goofball's in the number 1 spot at 1.3K. Very comfy in that number 1 spot, aren't we, Sam? We appreciate you. Sabrina Janine in the number 2 spot at 477. Then we got Shell in Darkness in the number 3 spot at 418. Elise, who jumped over from the YouTube side, is like, I'm getting in this mix. At 351. Then we got Chelsea Lynn, Adventures with Pam, Jess Bates, Jane Rawlings, Pug Mom, Dusty Jr. Is that you, boy? That you, my boy? Anna Hartman, Books Coffee Tea, Emmy Castro, J. Lucero, Elise Kutch, Mama Says So, Boo 77, Callie Knight, Stanzilla, Ms. Clearly Unclear, Charlie Diego, Shan Loves to Read, Anastasia Schultz, Real Lucy Long Life, Thrillers About Mommy, Violet Green, Berlioz as Plunda, Robin Gengimi, Mama Silver, Susan Withovty. I'm sure I'm screwing that one up. Help me out. Minions Den, Friendly Neighborhood Tim, Christian Museum Girl, Luna Rose, Cindy Lou, and Take More Naps. Also, Mad Max. Thank you guys so much for the love. We're going to get the next one set up there, and we'll make good on the reward for this right after this story. Dusty Jr. chiming in, just not your junior. Yep. Yep. Shan, which ears do I prefer? The sound is better from my over ears. But
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
yeah, the sound is more clear.
Is it crispy?
Yeah, it's crisp here, but it is very trebly. Like, I don't get the bassy end, of course, because it's a much smaller thing. Yeah, I'm Secret Service agent today. There we go. There we go. Yeah. Elise, I wanted to hear the update. What? We appreciate you. Thank you. All right, here's the story. I think my mom wants to follow me to my new home/city. I left a vibrant city and moved back to my hometown of 2,000 people where my parents had resided their whole lives when my dad and another relative became ill. My dad passed and it has been hard on my mom, but I have been here with my toddler and husband 5 minutes away from her for nearly 2 years after his passing. My mom is able-bodied and in good health. I have set the expectation since the time I came back that this would not be permanent for me and the town is bad for my mental health. Still, my mom has endlessly guilt-tripped me about moving away, even being hateful about it. I closed on a home recently and am set to move in 2 weeks. My dad was a narcissist, covert, and I suspect my mom may be a narc overt as well. My dad completely isolated the two of them, so they have no real friends beyond immediate family. This you and me? We isolate. We're hermits. Does that mean we're narcissists? Is that what that means? Because
Read the story.
Okay. My mom at some point along the way seems to have created a narrative where she'd be moving in with us or spending a substantial amount of time in our new city. When searching for a home, we did choose one with a spare room, and I told my mom she's welcome to visit and we would have space, but I never thought of it being full-time or anything close. On our house closing weekend, she even drove up to stay in a hotel in the city, which was unprompted. This past weekend, my mom showed up at my current house crying, pulling out all the tricks in the book, saying that she must be a bad mom for my not to want her in my home, and saying that we must not want her there because she'd be underfoot. She'd asked who is going to pick up my kid from school. I said, me or my husband, to which she said, well, that was supposed to be my job. Additionally, she guilt-tripped me, saying my dad is no longer here, and now I'm taking away her grandchild. She harps on not having anything in her town anymore, but she has multiple connections. She just refuses to utilize them to make friends or socialize. I told her that she's actually done more social activities than me during the time I've lived here due to there being barely any young people here, to which she said, well, you have your husband to hang out with. Oh, that one was just way too obvious for her, wasn't it? She appears to want to come to our new city and socialize there, but I want to start a new chapter without her codependency. She's high-strung, anxious, negative, and I don't want her making my child anxious like she made me anxious throughout my life. I feel like a shell of myself around her, and she doesn't even know how to have normal conversations without being hateful or insulting. She proposed a couple of days ago that she would like to come 1 week and then 1 week on, then 1 week off on a rolling basis. I said that may be a bit much, to which she said, I made my bed, now I have to lie in it. Not sure what was meant by that at all. What does that fucking mean? She's like, well, you made your bed. You got me a spare room. It's my spare room.
She literally means you made me a bed and now I'm going to lie in it.
What the?
Her mom sounds exhausting. Like, sounds incredibly exhausting.
And how about just completely taking advantage of her and being like, you know what? I'm going with the on ears. Completely taking advantage of her and not even trying to hide it. Just being like, yeah, this is happening. I do think, OP, that, you say in here you feel like a shell of yourself around her. Being around her made you anxious, and you don't want that for your child.
Right.
If she doesn't respect that, it's really easy to be like, okay, that's crossing a boundary. That's not okay. You have to at least respect the mental health of my child that you say you care so much about.
Maybe it's going to be on OP, and hopefully she has a therapist to help her navigate the situation. Because I know it's hard to set boundaries with your parents, especially if you haven't previously. But I think having someone help her navigate this and how to communicate to her mom, like every other week is too much. I propose this instead. If you're not comfortable with this, then don't come. And to say that in a way that is going to communicate effectively to her mom, I do think a therapist would be the best, would be my suggestion in this situation. Especially because, I think she's like hit the nail on the head with saying, I recognize that this is how my mom makes me feel, and I don't want my child to feel this way. And I think that always is the kicker that makes people make decisions when it comes to their parents that they wouldn't have made previously. It's the fact that they want to protect their kids.
If you're not going to make the decision for yourself, make the decision for your child. And I think that goes for a lot of relationships too, where people may stay and put up with a lot that they wouldn't expect their child to stay for. And when they finally think of it like that, they make the decision. Now, from OP's vibe in general, it doesn't feel like she has any issue speaking her mind. It just feels like mom railroads it. So I would guess that OP has said, like, I don't want you making my child anxious. And grandma here just doesn't give a single creamed corn fuck.
I mean, then maybe you're going to have to go low contact with mom, because if she makes you uncomfortable in your own skin, like inviting that into your home and being uncomfortable in your own home, is not good for your child, and it's definitely not good for you.
Yeah.
So I think doing those things would be detrimental to her family and her marriage and all of these things.
That's true.
And I think she values that much more than trying to be nice to her mom, just to be nice to her mom, like not to set those boundaries in place.
It sounds like she's not even really trying hard to do that. She's being pretty clear, but she's not setting a boundary, not a true boundary.
No.
She's setting her wishes. She's like, I think that might be a bit much, but there's no boundary with a consequence. There's no, if you do this, then this will happen, that has been clearly communicated. And it has to be enforced and honored for her to take it seriously. Because right now you've been like, here's what I want. I don't want this. I don't want this. I feel like this might be a bit much. But she's like, I don't have to listen to that because there's no consequence to back up my not listening to it. So I'm just going to fucking railroad all of it.
Right. Which is why I think making sure, like listen, she's in her child's corner. She's protecting her child. She does have her husband in her corner, but to have someone that's strictly there to protect her, which I think if she could find a good therapist to give her the ammo that she needs to not be steamrolled by her mom or not have to put up with this type of behavior, because it sounds fucking exhausting.
Yeah.
And I would not want that in my home every other week. That
Agreed.
would be too much.
And Cher, you make a good point. We said your head and heart are in the right place protecting your child at this point, but even allowing what you're allowing right now is not the example that you want to set. So think of it that way and develop an actual boundary with an actual consequence. Words are hard. With an actual consequence, and stick to it and see how that changes things.
I agree.
Darian, or I guess we need to make an official determination here. Yes, 100% NTA for you, OP. That feels like a no-brainer. The question was, am I the astronaut for not wanting my widowed mom to follow me to my new city? 100% NTA for that. And I feel like how you've handled this to this point is NTA, but it's time to step it up and actually get serious about it and create and enforce some consequences here. Mom, I feel like at this point is ask on one. She's terrible. She's blatantly disrespectful of you and your wishes, even though you're communicating very clearly about how this can be harmful. And only wants just hitching her cart to your horse. Is that, or horse to your, how does that go? Hitching her, I don't know. She's being completely dependent on you for her happiness, and that's not fair. I don't think that's ever fair for an adult to do with a child, to put the weight of their happiness on them. It is unfair. So she's ask on one for me right now. Boo. Boo, boo, boo. Little bit of music. Sounds like one of the characters from Bad Moms 2. Elise, I would start charging a mom $200 a night after 5 free days a month. LOL. That's fair, but some kind of structure is what's needed here, so that it can be like, okay, well, look, you did this, so here we are. This is what happens. Hitch your horse to your wagon. That felt right. Cart to your horse. Amber, see, there's multiple versions here. Do you know what it is, Candy Thunder? Let's consult the expert, ladies and gentlemen. What is the saying, Candy Thunder?
Cart to horse was what I've heard before.
It's your cart. Oh, there's cart before the horse,
I
and then
don't
there's.
fucking know. I'm not an expert. Just ride the horse and get the fuck on out of there.
Wow. Just ride the horse. Ride the horse and save the cowboy. Okay.
Save a cart, ride a horse. Yeah.
Save a cart. What's up, Ashley? Good to see you. Yeah, we're just butchering that one. We don't know what we're doing. Okay. Now, ladies and gents, we do have the update story for the Father's Day. For the Father's Day story. The update for the Father's Day story to dive into here. So we'll do that here shortly. Before I do that, putting the cart before the horse. Yes, my Dizzy Lizzy, that's that saying, and like hitching your horse to someone's wagon. Yes, Elise. Like those two things have gotten confused here. Sorry. Callie and I, words are very hard. Words are very, very hard. What's going on? Oh, gotcha. Hey, Jay, Ash, Candy, thanks so much for sharing the stream. Greatly appreciate that. If you haven't shared it yet, please consider doing that. We greatly appreciate it. We do rely on it as well. Okay, we will dive over to update reward story. That's where I'm at, right? Very bottom of the dock, Tony Spock. All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, we have an update to Am I the Astronaut for not planning anything for Father's Day after my husband ruined my first Mother's Day? Oh, dear. Oh, my. By the way, we are focused on finger hearts right now on the TikTok side. We are going to unlock a spicy story and a Tony Spark appearance. We're at 415 out of 3K. We got a ways to go on that one. Title again, Am I the Astronaut for not planning anything for Father's Day after my husband ruined my first Mother's Day? Would you, have you started a poll yet, love? Okay. We don't need a poll for this. All the shares just filling up the chat window there. Thank you guys so much, TikTok side. Greatly appreciate that. All right, here we go. I've had a lot of folks asking for an update, so here goes. First off, thank you all to everyone who commented on my earlier post, good and bad. It has been so helpful. Couple of things I want to mention first. A lot of commenters have been saying that I knew what I was getting into when I married DH, so this whole thing is as much my fault as anyone else's, and if I didn't want a mama's boy, I shouldn't have married one. Yep, you are 100% correct. I ignored all the red flags, constantly told myself it would get better once we were engaged, then once we were married, then once we got pregnant, then once we had kids. And I think part of the issue is she's gotten worse over the years. It feels like one of those frog in a pot of boiling water situations. I don't deny that I put myself into this situation, but the fact is we're here now, so we need to get it figured out. A lot of other commenters said my list of rules was crazy and that I'm just as bad of a mom as he is. Maybe I am, more on that later, but I don't think there is anything about my boundaries that are unreasonable, and there is nothing there that I expect from him and his parents that I don't also expect from myself and my parents. I've said repeatedly, they all boil down to the same basic thing, showing each other respect and consideration. I'm not saying he can't see his parent or that they can't come visit or anything like that. I'm saying that his parents don't get to have priority over us and our little family, and neither do my parents. First, the good. My husband ended up surprising me with a trip out of town. He took me and Lo down to San Antonio for a long weekend. Oh, okay. Well, I thought maybe that was the nickname for the kid, like Navy Low, because we say that, you know what I mean? He took me and little one down to San Antonio for a long weekend. We had been pre-kid and really enjoyed. We had words hard are. We had been pre-kid and really enjoyed staying on the river walk and doing all the touristy stuff, even though we only live a few hours away. DH ended up really stressed and kept apologizing because obviously this trip was much different. It felt like a military expedition with all the gear we took for little one, and it wasn't nearly as romantic since we had a pack and play next to the bed. Been there. But I kept reminding him that what was important, to me at least, was that he took the initiative to plan something on his own and try to make up for Mother's Day. Even though it wasn't exactly what Hubs was hoping for, I had a really, really good time and enjoyed spending time with my two guys, and I expressed that to him. And to his credit, DH didn't answer when his mom called or spent all day texting her. Okay. A little bit of green flag action going on right now. We'll see if it sticks, but cautiously optimistic. I know he paid for it when he got back because I heard them on the phone and it sounded like she was reading him the riot act for not telling them we were going, not inviting them along, and not answering when she called. I'm going to do something for him as a belated Father's Day, and we're going to try to build different, better memories of our first Mother's Day and Father's Day, even if it's after the fact. More good stuff. DH and I both have individual therapists we've been seeing weekly for the past several weeks, as well as couples therapists we have been seeing weekly together. And I'm going back to work full-time next week, so little one has been going to daycare part-time to help him acclimate. That first day was pretty traumatic, more for me than for little one, but he's been adjusting well and seems happy when I pick him up after lunch. This is a huge point of contention with mother-in-law because she wants to babysit, but I've said absolutely not because she won't respect any of our rules or boundaries. I've also been following through on my list of boundaries on my last post. I'm not no contact, but I guess the term is I've dropped the rope. What does that term mean? Drop the rope or drop the soap? Now the bad. For little one's first birthday, I was planning something small and casual at our house. Just our parents and a few close friends, like 10 to 15 people max, counting me and DH. I was going to make a smash cake for little one and more grown-up type food / snacks / desserts for us and guests. I was planning some low-key decorations because, let's be honest, this kind of party is for the adults. Kiddo isn't going to remember any of it, so I didn't want to go overboard. Mother-in-law hated everything about it and wanted to do it at her house. Invite all of her friends and relatives, serve more kid-centric food, get a store-bought cake with all that super sweet icing, and go nuts with decorations. I told her, no, absolutely not. Our kid, our house, our plans. She went crying to DH, and he tried to talk me into letting her have her way. Nope, take the red flag away. You lost your red flag, or you lost your green flag privileges here, brozo. This has been a constant theme. Mother-in-law oversteps, I complain, DH put up boundaries, and then just as quickly, DH forgets about the boundaries. Then it's not a boundary. It's not a boundary. It's just a temporary line. We were able to talk about this in one of our early couple sessions, and it was pretty enlightening. I'm sure all the people saying DH just ended up marrying someone just like his mom will be gratified to know our counselor said, OP can have a forceful personality. So yeah, I'm bossy, pushy, opinionated, etc. How it came up is we were talking about the party, and I was saying what I wanted to do and why I didn't want to let my mother-in-law take over, etc. And DH was trying to explain why we should accommodate mother-in-law. The therapist interrupted us and asked DH what he wanted to do. DH started talking about my plan versus his mom's plan, and the therapist stopped him again and asked what he wants. Based on his reaction, I don't think anyone has ever seriously asked him that. He had a complete deer in the headlights look, and I really thought he was going to bolt or start crying or both. How we ended it is, if he truly doesn't have an opinion or doesn't care, then he should probably defer to his wife's, approach. He shouldn't delegate his right to decide to his mother. If he really wants to do it her way, then he needs to express that and say he wants to do it her way because he really wants to do it her way, as opposed to doing it her way just to avoid upsetting her. Or if he wants something completely different, he needs to express that, but his mom's opinion is not and cannot take precedence. I like it. Nothing wrong with her expressing her opinion and him agreeing, but that needs to be an active process as opposed to him just doing something because she said so. That was followed up by a conversation about how I have strong thoughts and opinions and I need to give him room to have his own. So rather than saying, I want to do X and then expecting him to agree or disagree, I need to say something like, for little one's birthday, I have some ideas, but I'd like to hear what you think first so we can decide together. We did end up doing the party the way I wanted because DH took the therapist's advice and deferred to me since he did not have an opinion. Mother-in-law was super pissy about the whole thing and ended up bringing a sheet cake despite my telling her multiple times not to.
Of course she did.
We did not serve it during the party because boundaries, which pissed her off. DH and I have been munching on it as a late night snack after putting little one to bed and because of how insanely sweet the icing is. I'm glad I stuck to my guns. Oh, and you get to have the cake as like a midnight snack as a bonus?
She's having her cake and eating it too.
Look at you. Look at you. I feel better because I put distance between myself and mother-in-law and I'm not worrying about pissing her off, so I'm not walking on eggshells anymore. But I don't know if I'm any more confident about whether our marriage will survive. I'm realizing that DH has deferred to other people, mother-in-law and me, for so long that he has a hard time having his own thoughts and opinion. I do still love him very much and I'm not as mad as I was when I first posted. Now I'm more sad for him and I'm starting to understand him better, but I don't know if he can change. I know she is complaining to him because I haven't been, what's this word mean? Kowtowing? Help me out. What is kowtowing a word? I don't even know what to like.
Act in excessively subservient manner.
Submit?
Yeah.
Kowtowing. I had no idea. Learned something new today. I know she is complaining to him because I haven't been kowtowing to her, and I have been visiting on my own or changing plans when they drop by unexpectedly, but I'm not pushing him to establish his own boundaries yet. I think he needs to do more work so he can decide what he wants out of all this. All that to say, we're still working through it, and I don't know what's going to happen. So, quick question, before we dive into anything serious, is the opposite of kowtowing I'll just leave it alone.
Okay. I think that's wise.
Looked at both of us and we both were making the same.
I was like, I don't know what's about to come out of his mouth, but it can't be good.
Kowtow? It's pronounced kowtow? Kowtow? Oh, kowtowing. Okay, kowtowing. Well, where did this term come from? I have never, in my bearded life, ever heard this. Kowtowing?
Yeah, I don't know. Okay.
Okay.
I like kowtowing better.
Yeah. You like kowtowing or kowtowing better?
Kowtowing.
Yeah. Sometime walking through Walmart, I'm going to be like, look at that camel toe.
Okay.
I had to. Sorry.
Sometimes you can just let stuff go, but that's all right. So what do you think about the story? Moving on from your whatever thoughts are swarming your brain right now.
I forgot all about the story. I'm kidding. I think they're at the best place they can be right now. It is sad for hubby to have the deer in the headlights look and for all of them, well, for OP and he to have this realization moment where he doesn't know who he is. He's never had an opinion because he's never been allowed to have one. He's been attracted to or he's been attached to a strong personality his entire life, his mom and now his wife. And those two strong personalities are butting heads, as I would expect two strong personalities to do, right? But he needs to decide who he is and really think about what he wants. But that's going to be a process. And I would urge OP at this point to be like, I don't know that he can change. It's going to take the rest of his life to gradually change. Why do you feel like that nullifies your relationship at this point? Why do you feel like that is a negative for your relationship? Because you've uncovered something that can help him really grow as a person. And when people start growing as individuals, your relationship starts growing and strengthening as well.
But he has to want to. The things that he's discovering in therapy, he also has to put to work, and he also has to do the work himself. So like if he's going to therapy and he's understanding these things and seeing these things for the first time in his life, he also has to do the work alongside of it in order to change and have his own opinions that aren't just a copy paste from his mom.
I understand.
So, and if he is, and I think that's why she's saying she doesn't know if the relationship can weather the storm, basically, because she's saying, I don't know if he's willing to change. I don't know. He recognizes it. We both see it. We understand how he got to where he is. Mom's made every decision for him. He's never had to do it on his own. And now that's a problem. And so how many years did it take him to get to this point? And she's saying, I don't know if he can rip the Band-Aid off and become someone who isn't dependent on his mother's opinion.
Or his wife's. And I think that is an important distinction. He's dependent on someone else for his opinion right now. But let me counter with this. The version of him that she fell in love with is that version.
Right.
Isn't the grown version that has developed the ability to have opinions on his own. So like why is it a prerequisite for him to grow and heal for the relationship to continue on? Because they know there's a problem now?
I would say because at this point, he's still prioritizing his mother's opinion and how it affects their family. So the birthday party, for instance, she wanted one thing, and it should be the mom and dad that are making that decision. If they want 100 people or 10 people there, that should be up to the parents of the child, not to the mother-in-law, unless they specifically give her that to take on. But he was saying, let's just do it this way because this is what she wants. And so it's still happening. And I mean, she has to decide if she wants to stay alongside him and work through this, and feel the pain that is inevitably going to come along with it, because it's not going to happen overnight. The changes aren't going to be there. But
It's going to be tough. It's going to take time.
And I think that's what that's how I took it. Like, this.
Is it, okay, are we going to survive the hard part?
Yeah.
Because at the beginning of therapy and the unmasking, and like, that is the hard part for him. And you're right. But there is a light at the end of that tunnel. And I think that's my point here. And also, like, because you knew and fell in love with the broken version of him, like, I would hope that your first reaction here would be to want to stick it out and walk on this healing journey with him. Now, I've seen a lot in chat, and I 100% agree with this. That healing is never going to happen unless he finds a way to step away from his mother. His mother is the one person in all of this who does not respect or maybe even know about the realization, the discovery that was made in therapy. She's not going to respect that process. She's not going to let him learn to decide for his own sake. So there's got to be some kind of separation there for this to happen.
No, and I think, whenever, like, his people-pleasing behavior with his mom, like, giving her everything that she wants, everything that she says, he goes along with. He does everything that she says because she doesn't want to upset it. I mean, I was a hardcore people pleaser, and
you said past tense.
I'm working on it.
Like, you're reformed.
I am working.
You are working on it. You're self-aware of it now.
Yes, and it caused. I mean, not with my family or like my mom, but in other areas, like, it caused issues. And you did work, like, you've stood alongside me and worked through that, and we've done that for each other. But if there was a force that was just constantly attacking our relationship all the time. And I think that's what she's saying. Like, at some point it becomes too much. And that I understand, but I am so glad that they are in therapy, going through this and figuring it out together, and that they are doing things together as a family, because I think that's how you heal. And I think the first time that he stands up to his mom and absolutely says, creates a real boundary. Creates a real boundary, will give him some type of feeling. And it maybe then the dominoes will fall, and he'll be able to keep doing it consistently, and to keep making the same decision to put his family first. Yeah. I would think that's her hopes, that they can continue on and have their life together. But if he can't do that, my gosh, there's like something happening in my throat.
Got a frog in your throat?
Funny you should say that. But I think if he can't do that, she would leave.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree, because you put yourself in OP's position here, and you've got somebody who's trying to work through something, and you just have to kind of watch it all happen. And you can encourage, you can point things out to try to help self-reflection happen there, right? But there's a fine line between, like, pointing things out and nagging or annoying, right?
Sure.
So it's like finding that balance there too is very difficult. You're going to find it by stepping over it a couple of times, and maybe he bites back. And I think that what they're doing is a healthy approach to figure out this problem, and I wish them the best. Yeah. Yeah.
And I hope that they figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed.
Together.
So that's where the update is right now. Let's see if we end up seeing another one here. I hope they are able to walk together through this, because that would be the best thing for their family unit, obviously. And I can say personally that having someone who is willing to walk with you through personal growth is a BFD. Like, I've never tried to do it solo, so I don't know. Like, I can only imagine how much more difficult it would be to do that without somebody to be a rock beside you and to be encouraging.
And someone said you can't walk their path for them. Yeah. And absolutely not. They have to walk it for themselves. They have to want it for themselves, but you can walk alongside them and help support them. But that doesn't mean that you're their punching bag, or that you have to take abuse in any way, shape, or form. Like, you can walk alongside them and support them in a healthy way.
Right. You can't start stepping on their toes.
Yep.
Okay, a little bit of catch up here before we dive into our next one. Darian dropped the 5 on the YouTube side, said they have realized the issue. Now she understands, and they can only move on and up from there, and hopefully together. Agreed. And thank you, by the way. And being aware is one thing, implementation is another, and hopefully they're able to do this together. Let me see if I can get the whole username to pop up here. Painted D dropping the 35 says kowtow. It originates from Chinese phrase kao tao, meaning knock the head. Knock the head. Wow. Thank you so much for the super, by the way. I greatly appreciate that. Mercy dropped the 5, said, we're still all just talking about cows in chat. I only know cow tipping. It's a cow's opinion. It's moo. Thank you guys so much. I'm so glad that you're just as goofy as we are. Elise, member for 25 months, says the Burr months are here. Woo! Birthday, pumpkin month, spooky month, good food month, Santa month. Woo! All great months, Tony Spark. All great things. All good things. All good things. All good things to look forward to here. It's a moo point, Trish. That's right.
Tis the damn
It's moo. Heather, thanks so much for the follow. Overkill Mill with the share. Thank you so much for that. Take more naps with the finger hearts. Thank you so much for that. We are still rocking and rolling on that. Where are we on our gift goal, Tony Spark? You mind punching in and letting us know? Where are we on our gift goal? You mind punching in and letting us know?
Sorry, we're just discussing how winter's.
The kids in class never pay attention.
We're discussing how winter's here, and
the teacher's distracted.
We're at. It's rapidly increasing. We're at 1185 out of 3,000 for a spicy story and to see my glorious face today.
That's right. You got to see Tony Sparks' glorious face. Also, my first day using this butte. It's not. I thought it was a can koozie. That's why I got it, but it's not. It just the top screws off, and I pour my tea into it, but it has a little closable tab thing, so I can keep it fresh longer. Look at that. It's been handy. Thank you. That felt very hollow. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, okay. I thought it was a very sarcastic. I'm very happy for you. Like cool story, bro. It felt like a cool story, bro, kind of thing. I'm not an asshole. Shan loves to redropping all the gifts over here on the TikTok side. Thank you so much for that. Greatly appreciate it. We'll dive into our next story here. Real Broad says we're talking Q the shooting star and Rainbow Dusty. Important things. Yeah, absolutely. The more you know. Candy Thunder says she feels like she needs to say what happened. But before you do that, Juju Too Sweet. Thanks so much for the super. And Elise dropped the 5 said, Tony, we are about to have football, baseball, hockey, and NASCAR all at the same time. Good thing. All right, Candy Thunder has an important announcement.
We will post this video to my page later, but Caden's excited. I went to fill up my cup with ice so that I could pour a Diet Coke. And when I opened the freezer and went to reach in, something jumped at me. And I didn't know what it was, but I just saw it move and jump at my face. And so I screamed. I scrumped a scream that I've never screamed before. It was very...
Scrumped?
Yeah. That's what I said. And it came out and...
It was the most scrumptious scream to ever be scrumped.
Turns out it was a fucking frog in our freezer. And he was... clearly trying to hibernate or something and freeze himself to come back in the spring. I'm not sure. But I felt that he needed to go back out in the sunshine where he could.
Y'all, the scream was blood curdling.
It was he'd been in there for a hot minute.
He was really cold because I just had to grab him with my hand, but I grabbed him and then of course he jumps out of my hand as I'm trying to grab him. So her second scream is just as good, but very different. And then I was carrying him going through the office, and I decided I was going to do the whole fake trip throw frog thing. So I fake tripped, and then the frog actually jumped out of my hands.
He was weak from being so cold, and you treated him poorly.
No, I didn't treat him. I rescued his ass. You made him jump
from afar.
I rescued his ass while you walked out of frame in the Nest Cam footage, going. He's too cold. Get him outside.
I did. I turned into the boss.
This is what
do this and do that.
Yes,
but there was a
while running away
frog in our freezer, and I open it. I bend down, and something just lunges at my face, and I'm like, I feel like anybody in that moment would have screamed.
Right, Michelle? How did he get in there? That's the current.
I was the last person apparently in the freezer, and he got in there. Unless the person who cleans the office was here. No, they're coming this weekend. So no one was in the freezer since Thursday of last week. And that frog was in there, and he was still alive.
7 years ago, a tadpole had found its way into a freezer. Little did we know that years later, that tadpole would emerge as a frog in the freezer and see this as his opportunity to jump out into the world. He did not want to leave, though. He kept trying to get back in the office.
Yeah, I felt like, should we let him back in? Should we put him back in the freezer? Is that where he wants to be? Was he having a party? I'm not sure.
I don't understand. But we have it on video. We pulled the Nest Cam clip, and Candy Thunder will post it on her TikTok profile.
It was a gray tree frog.
Yep.
His name is Samuel.
So Tony did look this up afterwards. He has like defenses against freezing. So like what is it? Frost. You have to punch in and remind us of the term here. Frost deterrent.
Frost resistant.
The tree frog produces enough glucose to make their blood like it's kind of like antifreeze it creates, so it keeps them from the ice crystals in their blood, and so then they can like basically hibernate for up to 8 months, and their heart like kind of stops, but they're still alive. And then as they start to thaw out and the spring starts to come, they're back to life.
Okay.
The more you know.
I'm shooting star. The more you know.
I'm writing down like I'm actually going to create that graphic that we can overlay on the scene whenever this is happening because. And I wrote down the more the more you know. That would be more helpful.
Are they poisonous?
I'm going to make this. Tree frogs? Gray tree frogs? No. I don't think so. Not unless you eat them.
He was very booba.
Not the whole, what is that discussion? Booba versus what?
Kiki.
Is it Booba or Kiki? Do you guys know what that means? Do you know about Booba and Kiki? Hey, Painted D dropped the 35 again. Says, oh, no. I know. It was wild. Sazarala, missing my show. Positive vibes for my mom, please. I'm taking her now to see her oncologist to find out how she's doing. All the vibes for you.
Were you guys messing with me? Did somebody put the frog there?
Nobody put the frog there.
Okay, because they looked very alarmed when I screamed. Like they all came.
I had no idea.
Slowly to where the scream was coming from.
We had no idea. We had 100%. Like, I would tell you by now if it was a gag. It was not a gag. Like, we were just as surprised as you were.
Did he get in there?
I was expecting it to be like a mouse or something.
I would have. That scream would have.
The scream would have been different.
The scream would have broke the windows if it was a mouse. I don't like mice.
Alexandra, dropping the 5 said a scrumptious frosty frozen frog sounds like a summer special. Yeah.
I'm gonna get a chocolate frog.
Sadie, you use Booba and Kiki all the time. Of course, Tater Thunder alerted the office team to this, and we have no idea what the hell it means, but he does. Frog in the fridge equals toddler behavior. I would, not Navy Thunder. She wouldn't be the type to like pick up a frog. Period.
This girl doesn't like dirty water.
No, she doesn't. she's like Jupiter. Jupiter sees dirty water, and she's like, no.
Somebody come change this.
No, this will not be happening. Okay, we'll dive over to the next story here. We are rocking and rolling on our Finger Hearts goal right now. It looks like we're close to halfway. So we got to keep rocking and rolling on that. As a reminder, that will unlock a spicy story and a Tony Spark appearance. Also, YouTube side, we are at 11 of 15 right now for the supers 12 and 15 for the cake story and confetti. Got a new one coming through there. Fuller dropped the 5, said, hey Dusty, Fuller family, big fans. I'm starting an interview show and I'd love for you to be the guest. I sent a request on their site, but could have been thumbs down. You sent a request on my website? See, YouTube side. Okay. You submitted a request through there. Tell you what, shoot an email to collabs, COLLABS at dusty-thunder.com. Shoot us an email through there and we'll make sure we get it in there. Your chair just like fall down? Just move on. Just move on. Just move on. Okay, here we go. Real quick note before I do this. A little bit of a music interlude. So just can you hand this to Caden, please? If that can be read. Okay, we'll dive into our very next story here. This story comes from the AITA subreddit and it is titled this. Am I the astronaut? 19-year-old son wants freedom. Am I wrong here? Okay, we have no context in this title whatsoever, so we just got to rock and roll with it. 19-year-old son wants freedom. Am I wrong here? Boy, guys, yes. The sound that comes from that one is very disruptive.
Yes, teacher.
Okay, thank you. I was trying to do this covertly. I try, but I write very, very poorly. I write very, very poorly. All right. It is, am I the astronaut? 19-year-old son wants freedom. Am I wrong here? We don't have any context at all, so we're just going to roll into this without a poll. So my son, 19, was the second child of 4 kids. I, 39 female, had him young and raised him mostly by myself. His father was hardly around and went years not being around at all. Do you have Ryan's number? Okay. So somebody's upstairs banging on stuff right now, even though we have told them multiple times when our stream is. Thank you. All right. This is going really well. Don't worry, not gonna do what everybody thinks I'm gonna do. Flip out! So my son, 19, was the second child of 4 kids. I, 39 female, had him young and raised him mostly by myself. His father was hardly around and went years not being around at all. He lives with me and his stepdad, 39, his younger sister, 6, and his brother, 11 months. He graduated from high school in May of this year and has really not been doing a whole lot of anything with himself since. But it really has only been a few months. We constantly try to get him to do stuff around the house, and he does easy things like take out the trash or load the dishwasher, which is great, but he doesn't do much else around here. I just started a new job, and so did he. We told him that if he watches his little brother for 3 hours in the mornings, as needed Tuesday through Friday, he will not have to pay any bills here and can keep all of his own funds. I also provided him with a car to use, my old 05 Chevy Malibu, as he pleases. I pay for his cell phone, $65-ish a month, plus he has an iPhone, and buy groceries for him regularly. Since starting his new job, he now wants to turn off the GPS on his phone and says it makes me uncomfortable that I can see his location, even though it has been this way since he was a kid. Last night, he got off work and did not come home, turned off his GPS, and didn't tell anyone that he was not coming home until I reached out to him asking where he was. I don't have many rules for him, but I have said that if you go out, you need to be home by 11 or stay out so you don't wake the little ones or us up. He needs to keep the GPS on. I've asked him not to sleep all day and stay up all night, but he does it anyway. The question is, am I the asshole for wanting him to keep his GPS on? Should he be free to turn it off as he pleases? If he's given freedom and not scrutinized in where he's going or what he's doing, something we're not doing, why is having to keep his GPS on such a huge issue? I've considered saying, if you have the car, you have to have the GPS on or you'll lose the car. But honestly, I want the GPS on when he goes anywhere, but that might be me trying to be an overprotective mom. Thoughts? Going back to the title, it was a 19-year-old son wants freedom. Am I wrong here? Tater? Thoughts? Hold on. We got to do it. It's been a minute. Tater thoughts.
So
I need to put it on this screen.
So he's 19. It's such a hard fucking age. I know people have their own issues with, like, let's say Life 360, knowing locations and all that stuff and like privacy. I don't. So my opinion is based on the fact that I don't care who sees my location. Like, unless I'm going to buy a present for someone, I don't care who in my family sees my location. So my opinion is going to be biased because of that, but I don't think there's any reason that he shouldn't have it on if he's having the car and they have this agreement that is in place. But he is an adult at that point.
He's an adult. However, look at it this way: because he's an adult, it wouldn't matter if this kid was their son or a fucking stranger. If you're going to allow somebody to live in your house rent free, if you're going to provide them with a phone and a vehicle, there are some concessions. There are some stipulations for that, right? By accepting the vehicle to use, by accepting the free space to live, which is a debatable one because, your kids should always have a free space to live with you. Okay, take that off the table. To have a vehicle to use,
the phone.
And a phone to use for free, there is a trade-off there. And the trade-off is we have to know where you are in case of emergency. That's it. So you want your privacy? Cool. Start paying for your own fucking phone. Yeah. Start paying for your own fucking car. You can get your own apartment. You want to be independent, then be independent. But you have to do the work to make that happen. You can't have all the values of being independent while still being completely dependent on us. Maybe I'm a hard ass for that stance, but
no, I mean, I get it. But I also see the safety of it too. Like if you have a program like that, like Life 360, like if one of our children were to get in an accident, like we would know immediately.
Yeah.
Authorities would know immediately, like all of these things. And so I think there are benefits to it. But I agree. If you want to be completely independent, then be independent. If you are dependent on your parents for X, Y, and Z, and they have things like boundaries in place that in order for you to be dependent and for them to pay for it, then you have to play by their rules.
Yeah, I mean, and there are a couple of things that I don't necessarily 100% agree with in here, or that we would do differently. Like, if you're going to be out past 11, don't bother coming home.
Absolutely,
because you're going to
yeah.
wake us or the kids up. I'm like, okay, well,
No, that's
or you just they have
curfew
to-
would be different for us. For
they
sure.
have to be quiet. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
and kids and you will adapt to that. Like,
Yeah.
you don't have to punish one person for it.
And
So-
I'm not going to tell my 19-year-old that they have to be home at like 10 p.m. at night.
Right.
Like that. I would want them to have some freedoms because I would want them to figure out how to become independent.
Yes.
So I would want that path to be there for them to be able to find their independence. But I would
Absolutely.
also want to make sure that they're safe and
Right.
that they're taken care of. But I wouldn't have the curfew and all of that stuff. Like
Yeah, same.
I would be more lenient than this mom is being right now.
But I don't think the expectation of having GPS turned on for emergency purposes is unreasonable at all. And for what he's getting in return for that, like, you're getting a sweet fucking deal, kid. So just stop bitching about it. Where are you going?
That's what I was going to say. Where are you going?
He's
that you
going
don't-
somewhere that he doesn't want them to know about, and that's it.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know where someone would go that would be like inappropriate.
He's going to I don't know. He's going to a rave house or a strip club or to an ex-girlfriend that no one approves of. Like, you know what I mean? He's
Yeah, so
doing
all different
something.
things.
All different things. But I think
Yeah.
you're NTA here, Mom. There are some things that we would do differently, just because of our family and, you know, our understanding and our experiences. But overall, I think you're NTA.
I would put her at ASCON 4.
Would you
Because
really? Okay.
I do think, and that's just my opinion.
There's
I think-
Tater's opinion
I think
here.
there's some things that she could do.
You could do differently.
Compromises can be made and make sure that your kid is on a path to becoming
That's
and
fair.
to finding their independence, so they're not always dependent on you.
Okay.
So you have to. I feel like in parenting, especially at that age, and obviously, like only one has gone through that, but there is like you have to give a little. Like you can't just constantly just be, especially when they become an adult. I feel like you have to. There has to be some kind of compromise in place. So see what that would take to get there.
So paving a path to independence for your child rather than punishing them for being dependent.
There you go.
Is the thing that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, is the thing that we should strive to do, right? And that makes
Yeah.
sense in this situation. Like, how can you breadcrumb or incentivize or create a path of least resistance for him to become more independent rather than just focusing the discussion on, like, you're dependent, so you are going to be punished in this way, or this is what you have to give up for it. Yeah, that makes perfect sense, and I agree with you. So I'm not changing to ASCON 4 because I'm not going to say that you're right, but I am gonna say I agree with you. So we'll leave it at that.
Fine with that.
We'll just leave it at that. Okay, a little bit of catch up here. Over on this side, Margarita dropped the $5 super. Thank you so much for that. Greatly appreciate it. Darian dropped the 5 and said, I have Snap location on for everyone, but actually share my location in case with my husband, I'd prefer someone know where I'm at for emergencies. Same. We have two, because I'm a part of like multiple circles in Life 360 now, I get notifications for too many people. So like, Tipsy Thunder, charge your fucking phone, please. Because it will ping notifications if your phone is at like 5% or 10% too. And I'm like, Tipsy Thunder, what are you doing? Charge your phone.
I keep trying to add my mom to our Life 360
She
circle.
refuses.
No, she just doesn't set it up. But I want to add her to our Life 360 circle so that I can see when she's close. When we invite her to things.
Oh.
Like, are you on your way? Are you on your way?
Because you don't want to message the "Are you on your way" thing, because that for somebody who's trying to hurry and who's stressed out is just even more stressful, right?
Yep. So I don't have to ask, but also, yes.
Candy Thunder wants her mother's location on so she can just know when it's cool to stop by and get a glass of sweet tea. That's probably fair.
I mean,
Painted,
I would go.
Painted D dropped into the 35, said, living in a country that's not the safest, everybody has Life 360 on all the time. If he uses the vehicle, he should have location on. Agreed. And I think the phone part here is there's a cost to having a free phone, right? You don't want that? Cool. Pay for your own phone. You can do whatever the fuck you want with the phone. Alexandra dropping the 5. Oh, it's scrumptious frosty frozen frog. Sounds like a summer special. Yeah. Sounds like the flavor of something. Yeah. Dorian, your ex-husband is on your Life 360 circle. It's handy, and I don't care if he knows where I am. That's handy. If you have that kind of relationship, cool. Overkill dropped the 66 finger hearts there. Thank you so much for that. We're still climbing on that. Looks like we are about 3/4 of the way through that finger heart special, the finger heart gift goal on the TikTok side right now, which, as a reminder, unlocks, not my burps, a spicy story, and Tony Spark. Candy Thunder thinks burps are like the grossest thing on the planet. Like, she cannot stand burps. She just can't fucking do it. But every once in a blue moon, she'll let out a fucking belch that's like admirable. Ninja Blob dropping the figure hearts there too. Thanks so much. Sam Gilmore dropped the 100. I said every once in a blue moon. Now I'm getting the look like I'm getting she's looking at me like I'm a burp now. Like, just absolute disgust. Sorry. I am not to belch.
I'm going to shake this Diet Coke up and drink it.
You should do that. You shake that Diet Coke up. I give up. Michelle, mom set the boundaries for using stuff she provides. Whether you agree with her or not, they're her boundaries. If you don't like it, then you do something to change it. There you go. At least you can turn off the low battery notification. I know, and I figured so. I'm just too lazy to do it. So far, it's happened like 5 times in the past few days. And it's the first time it started happening. So I'm close to the point of disabling it, but I haven't done it yet. Can't hear you. Are you talking to me? We've hit both goals? We hit both goals? Look at that. We hit both goals, guys. Look at that. Oh, yeah. Alicia put us over the edge there. Or no, it was the one before. All right. Look at that. Would you just look at it? We're going to give some thanks. We hit goals on both sides here. I'll get new ones set up, but you have unlocked the spicy story and the spicy Tony Spark. Wow. Words be hardened today. In the number 1 spot on the TikTok side for hitting the finger heart goal here, we got Overkill Mill at 2.6K. Right behind Sam Goofballs in the number 2 spot at 2.5K, and then Ninja Blob Nat in the number 3 spot at 2K. Top 3, 2K and up. Would you look at that? Zoreo at 1.7K in the number 4 spot, then AK Maria in the number 5 spot at 1K. Top 5 on 1K and up. Books, Coffee, Tea, Sabrina, Janine, Adventures with Pam, MJ Newcomb, Caitlin Townsend, Great Dragon Fox Gaming, Genesee 2014, Carrie P, Wooden Wonders, Julie Jules, Ann Harrison, Jero Mama, Scary Scarves, Nell Nicole, Candy CLKB, V Baby, Dusty Jr., Amy Castro, Jelly 55, Tony Spark, Brown Eyed Girl, TF 90, Mama Silver, Lindsay McD, J Lucero, Shan Loves to Read, Roz for Makeup, Queen Unicorn, Carlisle, Real Broad Zuba, Anna Hansen, Elizabeth Carter, I screwed it up. Elizabeth A. Carter, Liz, Anna, 8207, Colorado Cat, Legs for Days, Robin Gangimi, Doggo and Baby Mom, and Take More Naps. Thank you guys so much. I was doing so good for so long on that list, and then I tripped over myself. Screwed it up. Hatter dropping the 10 bob said, I've not gotten the chance to say this, but thank you, Dusty, for being an inspiration for me to read Reddit stories on my stream. Watching your lives gave me the courage to give it a try. Hell yeah. That's awesome. Hell yeah. Sometimes you like channel my voice while you're doing this too. What is happening over here? What is the little tantrum happening on this side of the desk? Okay. By slamming it? Did that work for you? Did that work for you?
Is this the route you want to go?
The number of times Candy Thunder has said to me in the past 3 days, is this the route you want to go? I've lost track. All right, let me set up our new goal here on the YouTube side. The new goal on the TikTok side is going to unlock a spicy story, Tater Thunder appearance, and confetti. That's right, we have a second spicy story there. YouTube side, let me set up the new goal for us here. It is going to unlock confetti and an AMA. Let's get rocking. Dropping that down just a hair here. Confetti. And AMA. I think Caden pooped a little. Did I have my coffee today, Lulu? I did not. I've got Monster Tea. I've got Walter, lots of Walter, and I always take a big shot of 5-hour energy right before the stream. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you know him. You love him. Let's bring it on stream. He said read the story first. I just do what I'm told here. I'm not an autonomous human being. I'm just, they actually have, like, buttons behind the scenes here where they control my face and, like, what I do and what I say. None of my choices are my own.
It's all over you. Shake your...
Hey, Sam Gilmore, dropping all those paper cranes. Adventures with Pam as well. Thank you so much. How does Monster Tea taste? Like heaven. It's an energy drink that's not the wild berry one, at least, but I just heard they discontinued it. My heart is breaking. I don't know what to do. What?
It's still there.
It's like fucking Velcro confetti. What have you done? Did you shoot static into this confetti cannon and then shoot it off? It's like rubbing a balloon on my head and then just letting it stay. Sam Gilmore with even more of the paper cranes there. Thank you so much. Jamie Lee dropping the 2 bomb on the YouTube side. Thank you. We're at 1 of 15 over there already. All right. Spicy story time, right? Cake? You messed up my hair? What is happening here? What when did you tell me that? Did you tell me that, like, looking at, like, into the microphone or, like, looking at me? She's like, is this the route you want to go? Is it? I wish I could tell all the stories because they're hilarious. All right, it is Cake Reward Story, ladies and gents. And look at this. I've got the button in the right spot. Hopefully it doesn't break the stream. Cake Story time. Swish? Hell yeah. I'm trying to sound like more Moira Rose. It doesn't always happen, but I gotta tell you, we didn't have a stream teaser this week because of the holiday. We didn't have time. We know what our next one is going to be, and if you're a Moira fan, you're gonna fucking love it. If I can pull it off. TBD. I have rehearsal time on my calendar for it. That tells you everything you need to know. All right, it is cake story time. Am I the astronaut for refusing to let my coworker cut the breakroom cake because they didn't contribute? All right, let's start a poll for this, shall we? Overkill, dropping the paper cranes. Thank you so much for the love. Thank you. Am I the astronaut for refusing to let my coworker cut the breakroom cake because they didn't contribute? Did you start the poll? Yep. Love. Thank you so much. Poll is rocking. TikTok side, upper left-hand corner. Hockey Mama V, I love that you include confetti in the prizes. Heck yeah. So it's not floor-fetti, I promise. We collect the confetti that falls on my desk here. Not the confetti that goes like down my shirt or gets stuck in my beard or ass crack. It is from the desk. But we have a repository of that we save afterwards and include some of the actual show confetti in the prizes from the Wheel of Thunder. Hell yeah. Why would you even ask to cut it if you don't contribute? That's fair. Absolutely fair. You're petty like this, Barry says. And proud. All right, how's our poll?
5 seconds left.
Well, NTA, it's looking like. Almost. Except for the one ASCON 1 dissenter, like Yush.
Okay. 61% NTA, followed by 11.4% ESH.
Okay. Oh, okay. That's fair. NTA is the winner here. Katie, I have to read your comment here because it's fucking hilarious. Katie May says, I literally don't care who the fuck cuts it. Just give me a piece.
Same.
I think you are all of us. All right, here we go. So I, 27 male, work in a medium-sized office that has this long-standing Friday treat tradition. Basically, a few of us rotate who brings something in. Donuts, bagels, cookies, whatever. Not a formal rule, but it's kind of understood that if you regularly eat the Friday treats, you should also occasionally contribute. Last week was my turn. Instead of grabbing a cheap box of cookies from the grocery store, I decided to be nice and splurge on this gorgeous cake from a local bakery. I paid extra for the fancy cream cheese frosting and even had them write "Happy Friday, team" on it in little swirls. It wasn't cheap, but I thought it would be a nice surprise for everyone since we just had a rough deadline week. I set it up in the break room with some plates and napkins and figured we'd cut into it after lunch like we usually do. Around 10:30 though, a.m., assumed, my coworker Carl, 34 male, fake name, waltzed into the break room with a plate in one hand and a giant knife in the other like he was about to perform a wedding cake cutting ceremony. Here's the thing about Carl. He never contributes. Like ever. In the year that I've been at this job, he's not once brought anything in for Friday treats. Not donuts, not chips, not even a store brand soda. He always has an excuse. Forgot my wallet. Didn't have time. Next week, I promise. And yet he is consistently the first person in line to grab the biggest portion of whatever food shows up. Everyone kind of jokes that he's the office raccoon because of it. So when I saw him about to slice himself what was clearly going to be a massive corner piece before literally anyone else had even touched the cake, I stepped in and said, "Hey, can we wait until after lunch so everybody gets a fair shot, especially since you did not pitch in?" Oof. Carl froze mid-slice like I had just insulted his ancestors. Then he goes, "Wow, are you seriously gatekeeping cake?
Yes.
This is for the office, not your personal stash." I said, sure, but maybe let people actually see the cake before you swipe half the frosting. He stormed out and went around telling people that I was being stingy with the communal cake. By the time lunch rolled around, there were two camps forming. One group quietly told me that they were glad somebody finally said something to him, and the other group acted like I was some kind of dessert dictator for daring to control access to cake. To make things more awkward, Carl sulked the rest of the day and kept making sarcastic comments like, "Careful, don't touch Carrie's special cake." And then he sent me an email saying that it was toxic to shame coworkers over food and that I had ruined the Friday treat vibe. Now I'm stuck feeling conflicted. On one hand, yeah, once I put the cake in the break room, it technically was for everyone. On the other hand, it feels insane that the guy who has never once contributed thinks he should be the first to hack into a cake I spent my own money and time to get. So, am I the astronaut for stopping my coworker from cutting into the break room cake? Thoughts here? What do we think?
I want to join the team that is happy that she finally said something to Carl.
Carl!
But every place that I've worked at has had someone that
Has had a Carl.
had a Carl. Except Pierre, we always bring stuff, but yeah, Tony's the Carl. No, Tony treats this all the time. No, like NTA. There's no other feedback necessary.
Jamie, it is not required
Save the cake.
to contribute, so it's an elective thing. But OP did say early on in the story, me and a few others. So, yeah, it's weird that two camps formed. I'm wondering how the split relates to those who do
people who
contribute,
don't contribute,
to those who don't contribute. That's Carl's camp. Yeah, but here's the deal, Carl. Like, you can call it a communal thing. You can say somebody's being stingy, but he brought the fucking cake, or she brought the fucking cake.
Right.
Like, yeah, I can just as easily move it back out of the break room because I brought it.
I would, in the future, not put it in the break room until lunch. I would just leave it at your desk.
Yeah.
And then it is your cake
now
until
you know.
lunch.
Now you know. Now that's
Carl,
a smart vibe.
Yeah. Carl has no access to cake. And then Carl also walking around sulking and making stupid comments off to the side seems very Carl-like. So
yeah, that was totally a Carl thing to do.
I think it tells us all we need to know.
Yes. Yeah, I think you're NTA here. And if anything, maybe it's some time to institute some formal structure here, right?
Do you know who Carl is? He's Ross at the building party for the retirement thing. And he cuts the cake and he's got it on his upper lip.
Oh my gosh, it was the retirement cake, right?
Yeah.
For the building maintenance guy.
The cake. And he was unwilling to contribute. You saw what happened to Ross.
Yes.
So don't be a Ross.
But
don't be a Carl.
No one was on Ross's side there. Carl has some people on his side who whether they
I'm
actually
sure they got
agree
a
with it or
different
not,
story
I'm
from
sure they
Carl.
did. Well, of course, he's saying that OP is shaming people and being a desert dictator. Which, you know what? Cool. If you want to have an opinion, contribute. If you don't want to contribute, you don't get to have an influence over the program. That like you have to be willing to contribute to have any kind of influence on policy for Friday treat vibes, right? Like that's it. That's my opinion here.
I would feel like so guilty if I ate the food but never contributed. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, look there.
I would, but also I really want to eat this cake.
Yeah. Well, at 10:30 in the morning.
Yes.
Sometimes cake for brekkie is just the vibe. You know what I mean? He
Like,
Elise.
it sounds so good.
Elise here, dropping the 5, says, I don't think it's about him actually contributing. It's that he's mooching off the team, and it sounds like he's taking a large serving. So, okay. And it did. It sounded like he was taking way more than his share and also isn't contributing at all. And that's shitty. That's just a shitty human thing to do, right?
DFHB rejected.
There is a version of this where, like, life is harder for Carl, and he doesn't have the resources to contribute like everyone else does. And if that's the case, cool. I respect it. You don't get to take more than your share, right?
Stop trying to humanize Carl.
I'm not humanizing. I'm just saying there is a version of this, but there's no version of this. There's no version of this where that and taking more than your fair share and sneaking in to do it before anyone else before anyone else can get to it. There's no version where all of those things make it okay, right? So I think we're in agreement here.
If Carl
NTA, protect the fucking cake.
can't handle it, then we'll send him a cake kit,
There you
and
go.
he can make his own office contribute.
Yeah.
Contribution.
He'll be like, what is this freaking applesauce cake bullshit? This isn't local boutique bakery. Yeah,
I'll make sure to
gotta
get
make
him
it
one
himself.
with the cream cheese frosting.
There you go, the cream cheese frosting.
I have a
Matter.
cake kit ready to go for you, Carl.
Carl reminds me of the one friend that always forgot their wallet. Yeah, but and again, like there could be a valid explanation for that side. It's for the behavior side of things, and then it's almost like Carl at one point felt bad, but then in his mind was like, it's okay. I'll immediately have this defense. And if anybody says anything, I'll just tell them that they're shaming me and that's rude and they're being a dictator and blah, blah, blah. So it's like he had it all ready. Sound went out. Is that an isolated thing? Okay. If you're having sound issues, jump out and jump back in. Don't scare me like that. My gosh. Don't scare me. There's always a car. Always. We're at 2 of 15 on the YouTube side, y'all. And I think we're very early on it. No, we're over the halfway point on the paper crane goal on the TikTok side over there. I'm looking over at Tater Thunder's computer and I look at the progress bar up top. It's right where I can see it. So that's handy. Sometimes you're the Carl. Sometimes you're the cake. There's something there. There's something there. Okay, we'll dive into the next story here. Am I spicy story now? Tony's bark? All right. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. It is time. Get out the antacids, because shit's about to get spicy. Am I the astronaut for revoking my daughter's college fund? We don't know any reason behind it, so I'm just going to dive in without a poll. Am I the astronaut for revoking my daughter's college fund? I know it sounds bad, but please hear me out. We were discussing this earlier. It's always great when a story starts like that. I know it sounds bad, but hear me out. When my wife and I divorced, my daughter, 14 female, took my wife's side, which I was pretty upset about and surprised about. She was 12 when we separated, and we were very close. Unlike her and her mother, I didn't hold it against her because she's a kid and didn't know any better, and I made the effort to see her. I love spending time with my daughter. I met my current wife 4 years ago. She was pre-law and was planning on taking loans to pay for law school. However, about 2 years later, we were engaged, and I didn't want her to take on any loans, so I offered to pay for law school. She was apprehensive, but I wanted a good start to our married life and did not want any loans hanging over our heads, so she agreed. I used my daughter's college fund to pay for my wife's school. Oh no. And planned on replenishing it so that my daughter would have a fund when it was her turn to go to college. I put a little money in each month. I honestly thought it was okay because when I had asked her about college at the time of doing this, she said that she wanted to go to a makeup school that would be for makeup artists and that college sucks. Well, apparently her mindset changed because on Sunday we met up and she was talking about AP classes. I was surprised because I didn't think she was interested in school. I asked her if she was joking, but she said that she's aiming for CS at some top private college at some top private college and that her dream is to start a startup business. She then asked me if she had a college fund and she wanted to know if she could add on an EC or get a job. I told her the truth about her college fund and that right now there's not even enough money for a year at a private college. She then started crying and making a scene and told me that she couldn't believe I chose my wife over her mom, and now I'm choosing her again over my daughter.
Wait, what?
And now I'm choosing her again over my daughter. Okay, so daughter immediately pivoted this to it's about, I didn't even think she was around whenever the divorce happened. Maybe we'll get some clarification. Which is not true, since my daughter is getting a fund, just not private school tuition. She then called my wife a bunch of awful names that I won't say here. I told her that she's probably not going to get into private school because she wasn't even serious about school 2 years ago. She called me a shit dad and ran away until her mom came to get her. Her mom later called me angrily about what I said to her and said that my daughter is on track to win some prestigious science fair award and that I was way out of line with what I said and that I obviously don't know her. I was honestly so done with the BS she pulled and her attitude toward my wife, never has been good, and said that I'm probably going to revoke my daughter's college fund since she obviously doesn't deserve it with what she pulled today. My daughter is now refusing to see me and calling me by my first name. I still stand by words are hard. I still stand by my decision. Am I the astronaut? Okay, before we get into the edit, let's talk about this for a second. What do you think, Tater Rooney?
Okay, wait. So she said he chose his new wife over the mom. So is this an affair partner that he's with?
That's not how he presented it, but let's get into this. Okay, there are 3 total edits, so maybe we'll get some clarification on that.
Yeah.
He says, I met my current wife 4 years ago. When my wife and I divorced, my daughter 14 took my wife's side. She was 12 when we separated, which was 2 years ago. So yeah, could be.
Yeah, that seems very okay. So he chose the affair partner, got divorced, is what it's looking like.
Which is why she took mom's side, to his surprise.
Yeah,
because they weren't close, but she thought it was wrong. Okay,
and she was old enough to understand the situation.
Okay, notwithstanding all of that bullshit. If it's technically dad's fund that he has created with the intent of it being used for her schooling, he obviously has the legal right to use it however he sees fit. But how big of an asshole is he for repurposing it from his daughter, who he had already put money in for that specific purpose, changing the purpose of it and using it for his now wife? Previous fiance.
I'd ask on one. I think that's a very shitty thing to do. And I have to wonder if the wife knew where the money came from.
Which triggered the college conversation? Or no. Which
the new wife. I have to wonder if the new wife understood where this money was coming from and what she was taking.
Gotcha.
I have a hard time wondering if she knew exactly what it was that he was paying for her. And
if she did know, it just makes it that much worse. I wondered if there was some serendipitous timing going on here where, she hadn't talked about college in a long time. Last time they talked about it, she said college sucks. It's not what she wanted to do. You made this move. And then next fucking day, she's like, I think I want to go to college. I was like, maybe his ex got a notification that the money had been pulled from the account. And maybe that's what prompted the conversation, right? It's possible.
I think if the child already knew that there was a college fund, it should not have been spent.
Yes.
Because that child is therefore banking on that money being in the bank to go to school.
And she was.
And I think that is without any prior conversation. Hey, I'm removing this. You're not interested in college. Something to let her know so that, and also kids change their mind all the fucking time.
It's true.
That's what happens in high school.
She's 14. She'll change her mind again 9 more times.
Right.
So, okay, we'll start diving into edits. Here we go. Edit 1. I'm done with the rude comments about my wife. It's am I the asshole, not is my wife the asshole. Not that you guys deserve any additional information, but my wife really is great. I'll accept an asshole judgment for me cheating, even though it's not really what I'm asking in this post, but everyone seems to be hell-bent on it. I was a super asshole for cheating. Happy? My wife wasn't. When we met, I was 32 and she was 20. We had a casual relationship and I didn't mean to start it, but she was so amazing and such a vibrant personality and I was really depressed at that time, but she helped uplift me.
Fuck this guy.
I'm sure she did.
Fuck this guy. She's 20.
I didn't tell her I was married, only that I had a daughter. And I know that's bad, but I don't feel married to my ex, but I didn't feel married to my ex-wife at the time. I was so unhappy, and she was too. I didn't feel married to her. So technically,
The divorce her, you dick.
my wife and I had an amazing relationship, and she was going to be graduating college soon. She wanted to get serious. I told her the truth, and my wife was upset, but she decided to forgive me. Okay, every time he says my wife in this, it's like his current wife. I proposed and introduced her to my daughter, and she hoped we would be a family. She was nothing but kind to my daughter, but my daughter was hostile from the minute she met her, never gave her a chance. My daughter and my mom would play cruel pranks on her. Oh, mom's getting involved now too. Not OP's ex, like OP's mom. Like organizing a date and never showing up, ruining her wedding dress, spreading rumors about her all to my relatives, making fun of her to her face. My wife took the high route and forgave all of that, only speaking highly of my daughter. Even to her friends, she'll brag about how pretty and amazing my daughter is and how she's sure my daughter will accept her when she's a bit older. So yes, my wife is a saint and an amazing person. Stop shitting on her, Reddit. You got your backstory. Well, you got to admit, OP, conveniently leaving that backstory out and just glazing over that fact that, like, the why your daughter took your ex's side and the timing of everything, you did this to yourself. So I'll go ahead and read at least the next edit, and then we'll discuss some more. Edit 2, I will keep my daughter's fund and try to add enough money for private school. If she doesn't apologize and consider my wife her family, though, she won't be getting it. I'd rather her be hostile to me and hate me rather than my wife since I fucked up, but my wife is feeling guilty over something that's not her mistake. Edit 3. So a lot of shit went down after I posted this because I posted this actually. Oh, sorry. So a lot of shit went down after I posted this, or because I posted this actually. My wife called my daughter's mother because she felt bad about the situation and is sad about my relationship with my daughter. She insisted on the remaining money in the account, about $45K, to my daughter in a separate fund controlled by her mother. Her mother didn't take that well and hung up on my wife after telling her she didn't need her charity. This is Moira Rose buying a car at this point. You save that discount for someone who needs it. My wife now won't talk to me because she feels that I put her in a bad position and should have told her before that the money was my daughter's because she figured that it was just extra money I had left over and not my daughter's fund.
Oh my gosh, this guy is terrible.
She's saying that I caused unnecessary drama and could have handled the situation way better and that she's trying her best to fix what I broke, but she's exhausted. She's currently packing to go stay with her parents for the time being, so that's that. My ex-wife is furious at me because my wife called her and she didn't want to hear my wife's bitch voice. She blew up at me for taking everything so far and is blaming me for ruining everyone's happiness. She says that I can't fix anything anymore and not to even worry about my daughter's fund because she didn't raise her daughter to get on all four knees and beg, and that she has everything figured out for her daughter now. She thanked me for putting everything in perspective and that I'm no longer permitted to visit or contact my daughter. She has full custody.
It just keeps getting worse.
I'm now sitting here typing all this out and figuring out ways to contest custody, so that's what's happening right now. I just don't get how everything got all messed up when my heart is in the right place. I don't feel wrong.
This guy is like the fucking mom from Unknown Numbers. It just keeps getting fucking worse. And he's like justifying why he did what he did. I don't feel wrong. I mean, other people have driven drunk, so obviously there's nothing wrong with what I did. Dude, you looked for the piles of shit and then stepped in them, like, every fucking time. You are the worst.
Look, I think someone who has the general mentality of if it feels good, it can't be wrong.
I don't feel married today, so I think I'm going to sleep with a 20-year-old.
But this is exactly where somebody who thinks like that ends up. If it feels good, it can't be wrong. It doesn't feel wrong. I'm sure. Yeah. Oh, yeah. But that's where it ends up. Like they have no ability to start thinking about consequences. They have no ability to start thinking about other human beings and how they will be affected by their decisions at all. It's literally just, this feels good to me.
Okay. So dad meets a 20-year-old. Dad sleeps with 20-year-old. Dad divorces, all while not feeling married because, they weren't happy. So sleeping with a 20-year-old was clearly the answer
I don't really
to.
feel married. That day I didn't feel married.
Yeah. So instead of, divorcing and separating, I'm just going to have an affair and cheat on someone. And then I'm going to take all of my daughter's money when she's not old enough to make adult decisions and give it to my new wife. Like, what? You're not thinking with your head, clearly.
No. You say your heart's in the right place, but your dick's in the wrong place.
100%. Dude, what are you doing?
No, nothing is making sense here at all. And yeah, you really are the worst. And yeah, you deserve everything that's happening right now. And contesting custody is going to be a fucking joke, dude.
And you said you didn't want to see her. Unless she was willing to accept your wife as her family, then you don't want to see her. But at the end, you're like, well, now I think I'm going to contest it. Because it wasn't my idea, I'm going to contest it.
Yeah, that doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel good. Telling me that I can't do it. It has to be my choice. I'm like a cat.
I don't even know what to say, dude. You need to quit sidestepping accountability and look yourself in the mirror and be like, I fucked up. And pick up the fucking pieces.
Stop fucking up. That's step one.
Quit stepping in piles of shit.
Step one is the next decision. It's the next right thing, right? I know I'm going Anna from Frozen 2, but this is the next right thing. This is a one decision at a time kind of thing because you have a pattern now. You have a pattern of making very, very selfish decisions, and maybe not even for your happiness, just for the high of whatever you're choosing. Yes, it's for it feels good. But the next decision you make, you have to stop yourself and think about context, right? And then do it again and again and again and make that a new habit. And that is the only way you are ever going to dig yourself out of this hole. I wouldn't even think about digging yourself out of the hole right now. That one next fucking decision is the only thing that you need to focus on because everything else is out of the realm of possibilities at the moment. You have fucked this thing into the ground.
Right. Good luck. I would tell you to find a therapist, but I don't think you seem like someone who would take it seriously.
Find a therapist and try not to fuck him. Okay? Like, good gravy.
Wow.
Good gravy.
Ascon 1 or black hole?
I think it's black hole for me.
Look, you need to, dude.
Especially,
dude.
Okay, the story is what it is, but the fact that it starts off as, I know it sounds bad, but please hear me out, and then ends with, I don't feel wrong, makes it a black hole for me. That's all there is to it. It's
no.
Bye. Bye. Let's see how this feels. How does it feel?
He is Delulu, 100%. 100%. Like, what are you doing, dude? I don't.
And your biggest concern here in the previous discussion, did new wife know whether the money came from the daughter's college fund or not? We got the answers to.
Of course she didn't, because there's no way that this man is going to say exactly what he means or do exactly what he should.
No,
he would never be honest, and that's the vibe that I'm getting, is that he doesn't even understand the word.
He can't be trusted by anyone.
No,
I'm not even himself at this point. Painted D dropping the 14 said new wife finally saw him for who he really is. Yeah, because he got exposed basically, and then look, I think like ex-wife's position here on new wife, has some innocence here. He didn't tell her that he was married. Right? He didn't tell her he was married. Whenever they started seeing each other, just that he had a daughter. They got engaged before she ever met his daughter. Like, that should have been a red flag. There should have been several red flags here, but I'm like, he's a black hole. And that's all I have to say about that. All I have to say about it. We are, it looks like about 60% there on the current goal. On the TikTok side, we're at 6 of 15 on the YouTube side, and that means it is time, ladies and gentlemen, for the man, the myth, the legend. Today sponsored by Adidas. Here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tony Spar.
Hello, party peeps. How's everybody doing up in her? To work? I'm gonna go to Oklahoma.
We're going in Oklahoma. What are you doing? What are you doing in Oklahoma, man?
I'm going to Oklahoma to hop on a little tin can in the sky and take a little hop, skip, and a jump to the land of dreams.
He's going to Vegas.
Going to Vegas. I'm going to Vegas tomorrow. Yeah. I mean, my last trip to Vegas was, a trip to the desert, and there happened to be a concert. But yeah, I'm headed to Vegas tomorrow. I got a buddy's bachelor party for the weekend, so that should be interesting. So yeah, I'm excited. It's gonna be fun. Yeah, it's the story of the bachelor party is kind of funny because so the buddy that's getting married, I'm actually also very good friends with his dad. That's how I met him. I became good friends with his dad, and then got to know him, and like I don't even know how old he is, 25, 26, something like that now. Maybe even older than that. Hell, he might be close to 30, but I think he's like 25, 26. Anyway, so me and his dad were hanging out one night. We kind of invited ourselves to this bachelor party, and we were like, wouldn't it be funny if we went? And then we were like, hey, what do you think about us going? And he was like, dude, yeah, you and my dad should totally go. Do it. So then we were like, all right, let's go. So we got a really good deal in a hotel, really good deal in flights. So we decided to go. And then I was asking the guys who were planning the bachelor party. I was like, hey, I've been out there a few times. I've planned a bachelor party in Vegas because my best friend, we had his bachelor party there. I was like, let me know what I can do to help. Turns out that those guys aren't really planners. And they were like, well, we don't really have anything like on our list we wanted to do. We were kind of thinking just like casinos and sports gambling. I'm like, okay. I was like, is there anything else you kind of want to do? Or he's like, I don't know. What do you have any ideas? So I was like, look, I don't want to be the guy who invited myself to the party and then like takes it over. And I was like, and they were like, no, please plan something.
Please take it over.
So the party planner and myself, I've taken it on to plan a few things. I've only planned a couple things so far. It's going to be kind of a wing it thing. And we've got a few things planned, and we're just going to see what happens when we get out there. I think a lot of them, it's their first time to Vegas. Most of them in their first time to Vegas. So I don't think they realize how expensive Las Vegas actually is. So we got to kind of have the conversation about what everybody wants to do and what everybody wants to spend. But I'm pretty excited.
What are you gonna do? What's the plan in your head right now?
The plan in my head right now is the Chiefs play on Friday. Mm-hmm. So they all land at like 4:00 on Friday. And the kickoff is at 5:00 on Friday in Vegas. So I do have a reservation at a sports bar.
Nice.
Right now it's for me, and because my dad's also out in Vegas. So it's for like a few of us. So I think my plan is I can't make a reservation for groups. I think it's in our hotel. So I think I'm just going to go there when I get there Thursday night. No, he's going to probably come watch the Chiefs game with us Friday. Because my buddy and I are going out there Thursday night, and the rest of the group doesn't get there till Friday night. So we get a whole extra day in Vegas. So I think we're going to spend that day chilling by the pool and just kind of checking it out. Because my buddy also hasn't been to Vegas since he was 12. So it'll basically be like a whole new experience for him. Plan on watching that. I know they're all big football guys, so I'm sure on Sunday we'll end up somewhere to watch the games, because they're fans of all different teams. So, yeah, just gonna do some gambling and some. I hate you. Yeah, Real Broad. We did that the last time we were there when I had my buddies, my best friend's bachelor party. We did the full on like baller, spend way too much money and do that. These guys are a little, I think, more budget friendly, so that kind of stuff. I'm kind of gambling. I'm a roulette guy or a blackjack guy. It just kind of depends. If I can get hot on roulette, I love roulette, but I can also sit at a blackjack table for hours too. So we can read another story.
Yeah, I can get another story in.
But anyway, so you never know. There could be some more Vegas content if you go follow @TonySpark_ on TikTok and wish me and my liver luck for the weekend. And
Liver luck.
Listen, wish my liver luck, and here we go. So, I'm gonna go to Vegas and hopefully win. I won a lot of money at the last bachelor party I was out in Vegas, so I'm hoping that I can do that again because it makes the trip a lot better.
Luck be a liver tonight. It's Tony Sparks' theme song, right? That is going the wrong way. Sorry, y'all about got a vision there. That was close. Almost activated camera 3. We'll talk about it later. Okay, last story here, ladies and gentlemen. Story 4? Is that right? Okay, story 4. All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, our final story today comes from AITA and is this. I was going 4. Okay, I have been redirected, ladies and gentlemen. This is your captain speaking. We're pivoting to a new destination here because of turbulence. We are now on departure for AITA relationships. Am I the astronaut for telling my ex I'm not responsible for his grief? Won't do a poll for this. I'll read the title again, though. Am I the astronaut for telling my ex I'm not responsible for his grief? As title alone, it's a perfectly reasonable statement. Throwaway because my ex knows my actual Reddit, but anyway, I was dating a guy for 4 years. We were very close and our relationship wasn't perfect, but I was absolutely blindsided when he left me. After 4 years of being happy, suddenly he just said it wasn't working. When I pushed, he told me that all these problems he's had with me through our relationship that he never actually told me, and since then we haven't talked. In the last year of our relationship, his mom was diagnosed with breast cancer. And I do think a big part of why our relationship fell apart was that I never got along with his mother. She regularly insulted me and treated me like I wasn't anyone important. Once at dinner, I went for a second helping of food, and she randomly started talking about articles she read about overeating and obesity. Her son literally weighed more than I did. A year before we broke up, she surprised both of her kids with a family trip, and while she paid for her daughter's boyfriend's way, she told my ex she didn't realize I would want to go, so she didn't pay. We had been dating for 2 more years than his sister and her boyfriend. I didn't even expect her to pay for me, but she didn't even tell me about the trip until I couldn't do anything, really. I couldn't book time off work to come on the trip, so I skipped it entirely. All that to say, I really didn't like his mom, but I always blamed him more because he was the one who should have defended me. A couple of days ago, my ex reached out and told me his mom died. I gave the respectful, normal response of, hey, I'm sorry. I hope you get through it. He didn't get the hint and kept texting me, asking me to hang out. The issue is that he absolutely broke my heart out of the blue. I became very depressed and doubted myself for months and worked hard for this past year to get past him. So, his coming to me for support really pissed me off. And here's where I may have been the asshole. I told him his grief over his mom is not right. Words are hard. I told him his grief with his mother isn't my responsibility. I said his mom always was horrible to me, so I don't feel obligated to help him on her behalf. To me, the most asshole thing I said, and I regret that a bit. And if he wanted my shoulder to cry on, he shouldn't have dumped me the way that he did. He blew up at me and called me insensitive, and I haven't responded to him since then. But I really want to know if I'm the asshole here. Okay. Thoughts?
NTA.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't get to break up with someone and then come to them for emotional support when your mom treated them so poorly. Like, I feel like that's a given.
And I don't think, as an individual that anyone owes us their support when it comes to grieving. Like, it's hard, but ultimately it's on you to figure out how to deal with. And this person, he should have known like how little he must value you, OP, to
right.
be like to treat you the way that he did and just drop you like a hot tater, but then come back to you and be like, hey, I still expect you to service me, and not in the emotional way, not in the physical way. Like, how little you must value someone to just be able to do that. And I think you had every right to call him out. Be like, you tried it with kid gloves first. It didn't work, so you had to be blunt. And I think you had every right to. And yeah, I'm not surprised by him getting pissy about your response, but you guys haven't talked since. Leave it that way. That's the way that it needs to be, right?
You did the work to get over what happened to you, to heal and move on. Do not let him... What's the saying now? Oh, trauma dump in your DMs.
Yeah.
don't allow him.
Trying to take a big, hot, steamy trauma dump in your DMs. Don't allow it. I'm sorry, sir. My DMs are not an emotional porta potty.
There you go. No, he doesn't get that. Like the way that he ended it, the way he left her, like all of it was very insensitive. So it's really rich of him to come back and say that you're insensitive after what he did to you and allowed his mom to treat you. So
there you go.
Sorry, dude.
NTA. NTA for UOP.
Maybe your sister's boyfriend can provide the emotional support that you need.
Ooh, mama did like him. What are you going to do? That is it for us, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Greatly appreciate it. Rain, I see your comment here. All the vibes with you as you approach that 1 year anniversary. I think the first year mark of remembering someone's life coming to an end is obviously the hard one, right? So all the vibes with you, and hope you get to spend the day remembering the good things, right? And treat it as a celebration rather than something to avoid or to let get you down. And I know that's easy to say, but being intentional about being celebratory that day, I think, is an important thing to do. So yeah. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. It's always a frickin' blast. Always. Christy, he gave up that privilege when he let his mom disrespect her and broke her heart. And yeah, that dropping her like a hot tater was her idea. That was mama's idea. And the list of things that he rattled off whenever they were breaking up, that was her idea too. Those were her words. So boo. We do have VIP stream coming up here shortly. Give us about 15 minutes to get reset and set up in the studio out back here. And we'll do the VIP hangout for a little bit, including some Wheel of Thunder spins. We're going to have some fun. Yeah. Don't forget, we have a Wednesday. I'm sorry, this is Wednesday. We have the Sunday stream coming up here like normal. There are some differences coming up with streams. Candy Thunder is actually going to a Chiefs game with me on the... Can't remember what day that is. 13th, 14th? The Chiefs game that you're going to, Tater? 14th. She's going with me on the 14th. It's an afternoon game, but I don't know that we'll be back in time. We'll probably going to shift that to a Saturday Night Live. We'll see. So that's coming up. Imperfect Storms filmed last night. We'll have that coming out for you soon. Probably be a next Wednesday premiere or something like that. We'll see. We'll see. Imperfect Storms will premiere while we're gone the week of the 21st. I just shouldn't say anything because I'm having to redact everything that I say. I'm sorry. Don't listen to anything I am telling you at all. You didn't hear anything from me.
Oh my god.
Who put a question mark on the teleprompter? There are outro notes here that I could use. Our next public live will be Sunday, September 7th at 9 p.m. Central on TikTok and YouTube. And our weekly Wednesday live will be next Wednesday, the 10th at 3 p.m. VIP live coming up in about 15 minutes. See you all next time.
Hey, Ghost Wolf, thanks for the super.